up, everybody? Welcome back to the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Of course, I'm your host.
You are now locked into the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Here is your host, Brandon Blakeney.
Look, this video is not to demean or attack South Carolina. I think people are overreacting a bit. This team hadn't lost a regular season game in 2 years. 43 straight wins. It was incredible. They had to lose at some point. They are still figuring out their identity. They are still figuring out their best starting five. And Don Staley had big praise for UCLA. With all that being said, in the past, early in this season, Don Staley has called out her veterans, Sanaya Fagan, Bree Hall, Raven Johnson. And, man, to be honest with y'all, they have not performed at the level that they performed last year. Raven Johnson definitely has been the best of the bunch, still playing great defense, still rebounding the basketball, but shooting a career low right now, and not really bringing anything to the table offensively or pushing the defense on their heels when they played UCLA. I mean, she was a non-factor out there. Bree Hall, three-point percentage has been down. She shot a good game against ECU, but it's kind of been downhill from there. It's been an up and down season for her. And Sanaya Fagan kind of forced to start at the 5 right now with Ashlin Watkins coming off the bench, and she ain't been it either, to be honest with y'all, man. I don't think that I'm overstepping here to say that they have not played their best 5 this season out on the court, and it may be time to make some adjustments, man. We saw, first off, the younger players, Maddie McDaniel, Tessa Johnson, outplayed Raven Johnson and Bree Hall in the backcourt, for sure. Tessa Johnson looks like she should be starting. Maddie McDaniel was in full-on attack mode. She did miss a lot of bunnies, but she was in full-on attack mode and got everywhere she wanted on the court. UCLA really didn't have a whole lot of answers for her. She finishes those layups, and she's in double figures easily. She's been impressive, and Coach Don Staley's had high praise for the freshman.
Oh, I love great point guard play. Like Maddie is as solid can be. She is running our basketball team. She is picking and choosing opportunities to score. She's facilitating. She's defending. She's gaining more and more confidence. So if she continues to play like this, we're going to continue to find time for her. So I can't. I'm overjoyed. I'm overjoyed with her play because she's solid. Because she hasn't had a whole lot of practice time. Like, she just started practicing, probably 2 weeks ago on a day-to-day basis. So we really haven't seen her and the things that she could do. I know what she did while we recruited her, and it's even better. It's even better.
Now, if you look at it from that UCLA game, the younger players have produced more, man. Maddie McDaniel definitely deserves some high praise. She's continued to run the show for this offense, and she's led them in assists for 2 straight games, 4 points, 4 assists, 2 steals. She's bringing more pop to the offense than Raven Johnson right now. She's bringing more punch. She's bringing a spark off that bench. She's a scorer from all 3 levels. They really couldn't keep her out of the lane, to be honest. UCLA didn't have an answer for Maddie McDaniel. She missed a bunch of layups, but she easily could have been in double figures in this contest. She is just a massive mismatch in space. She will blow by you. Nice layup package. Can shoot the 3. She's a bigger offensive threat than Raven Johnson. Not attacking Raven, like, no shade. We know what Raven brings to this team. She's the glue. 3 points, 5 rebounds. But I think Maddie McDaniel's playing better basketball right now. Tessa Johnson deserves to be in the starting lineup. I'm sorry. She's just, right now, speaking, she is better than Breezy Hall. Okay, she comes off the bench, gives them 14 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. She has the same defensive versatility. She's a better shooter, a capable playmaker at times. Now, I know that she has continued to perform with the big games. Consistency is going to be key, but she's low maintenance, and she just always makes the right basketball play. I think you got to give her a chance to start at the 3. She's got the size. She's got the versatility. She's got the toughness. You're not losing anything on the defensive side, and she's shooting the basketball a lot better than Bree Hall right now. It's time for some of these younger players to start getting more minutes. I think also, man, you gotta bring Ashlin Watkins into the fold as well, man. You gotta. I understand she's still getting acclimated, but she needs to be in that starting lineup. But looking at the minute breakdowns, um, just so Maddie McDaniel looking like she's definitely going to be getting more minutes. She's getting 17.3 minutes. I think she could cut into Ravens Johnson's minutes. We didn't really see Malaysia Full Wiley in that contest or impact the game at all. She's only playing 17 minutes. She's actually playing less than Maddie McDaniel right now. She's third in scoring at 10.7 points, also averaging 2.2 assists, but the 2.3 turnovers is really what kills you compared to Maddie McDaniel, who's averaging 3.3 assists and not even a turnover per game. You can right now trust her with the basketball to run the show more than Malaysia Full Wiley, and that's why she's getting more minutes. Tessa Johnson, 18.5 minutes. I think she needs to eat into Breezy Hall's minutes. Breezy playing 24.7 minutes per game. Tessa Johnson averaging more points right now than her in less time with less shots for a lot of the games, man. Tessa Johnson coming off an ankle injury, she's definitely 100% right now. She's absolutely hooping. She was a big part of what they did that helped keep South Carolina in that game before it got ugly in the second half in the fourth quarter. I think she's big. I think, man, this team is probably, this offense, they struggled to score. You bring in a Maddie McDaniel, you bring in Malaysia Full Wiley to play more minutes, you insert Tessa Johnson in the starting lineup. She's giving you more pop right now. Joyce Edwards, I think, is getting an adequate amount of minutes with 21 minutes per game. She's playing more than Ashlin Watkins and Sanaya Fagan. Miriam Dowda is another player that I think can help this team open the floor up for these slashers with her three-point shooting ability, because all UCLA did was pack that lane. That's all they did was lock up the paint and force South Carolina to be a shooting team. I'm not taking anything from Raven Johnson, Bree Hall, like they're champions. They've been around this program. They've waited their turns. Sanaya Fagan, another player that has waited her turn, but you got to put Ashlin Watkins at the 5. She's not, just from defense alone, Sanaya Fagan is not bringing what Ashlin Watkins is bringing on the defensive side of things. She's a way more upside, way more impactful, a better offensive game in my opinion, better rebounder at this point. Like, Sanaya Fagan is not offering up a whole lot right now, and Lauren Betts was down there eating her up. I'm sorry, took her lunch money and everything. It was a tough matchup. She has not been the stable force, the anchor they need on both sides of the basketball at the 5. I think she's a good player. I just think she would be better coming off the bench. You look at what Tessa Johnson is doing, shooting the basketball. She's the best shooter on this team and continues to just be an absolute space buster, knockdown shooter. You got to put that into the starting lineup. You need her on the floor earlier. I mean, this team had, 25 points in the first half, but they didn't have 30 points in the first half. You need that offensive spark soon. These slow starts are killing South Carolina. And it's one game. I'm not here to overreact, but the slow starts and the lack of offensive efficiency hurt them today. Why not have McDaniel on the floor more, like Coach Don Staley said? Why not have Tessa Johnson coming in the game early? Why not going ahead and fully taking the cuffs off Ashlin Watkins and letting her go? You know, some changes got to be made. I don't think this was an overreaction at this point. Like, they look terrible. They need more spark immediately. The slow starts are killing them. We mentioned, they didn't want to get into a hole with UCLA and try to have to dig themselves out, and that's exactly what happened. They're going to have to put their shooters out on the floor. They have the talent. They have the 5. They got to find the right combination, though. They got to find the right combination to put on the floor and get these rotations together. Coach Don Staley is an elite coach. She will figure it out. She will get the best out of this team, and I still think they're one of the best teams in the nation, but they're far from where they want to be right now. And there's a lot of questions to be answered. Because there's no dominant big. They got to switch how they play. There's no dominant big on this team right now. There's not Camila Cardoso. There's not Aaliyah Boston. There's not Asia Wilson. Like, there's not that on this roster right now. A big that's commanding that type of attention. That's going to command a double team. So they got to play to their strengths. Play from the perimeter and make some adjustments. Rely on your guards more. To make plays, to create, to score. We saw the mid-range game is there. You got to get Chloe Kitts in space. spread the floor open so she can get busy in the paint. Because UCLA locked that paint up, and she was completely ineffective. You know, you got to take what the defense gives you at times. But y'all let me know how y'all feel in the comments. Is this a reach, or do y'all think some changes need to be made? Y'all talk to me. That's a wrap for us. For all the latest and the greatest, I am Brandon Blakeney, a.k.a. Brandon Lee TV. Until next time, we out.